Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm none other than your homie HerbMan. All right. This is where we teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we're going to teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness, the wholeness, and the wellness that we all deserve. All right. So this is your free information station. You guys don't have to pay for anything that you hear today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. So we're going to be talking about something today that all of y'all talk about all the time. And we're going to ride through some myths. Okay, we're going to debunk some things about this subject matter. So please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. Before that, I do have to let you know that we do have the HerbMan School that's going to be open. Okay, it is open. Classes start April the 4th. All right. If you got what you need, you can go to the website and go ahead and register. Okay. If you want to be on the payment plan, you can DM us. All right. We also are going to teach you guys all of the stuff that we've been talking about, especially the owner's manual. Okay. The owner's manual is your guide to your life. All right. It is the best guide that you can ever get for your life. It's not a book. It's the book on you. All right, it's not a generic book. It's not a generic situation talking about generic things. We want to make sure it's customized, personalized, and individualized to you and all about you. Okay, not about your people, your friends, your family, but about you. And if you want to know thyself, you need to pick up your owner's manual today. You guys can also go to the website, type in owner's manual and get that. If not, you can DM us and we'll be able to direct you in the right place. Also, we're talking about the Panacea blend. The Panacea blend is that foundational tonic. Okay, that foundational tonic that you're going to need. Remember that environment is key. What we talk about is terrain. We don't chase symptoms and we don't chase pathogens. We change the terrain. And once we change the environment, your body will start to heal itself. All right. So the Panacea blend, guys can go to the website, type in Panacea, get what you need. We also have a 21-day detox. We got stuff for blood pressure, stuff for blood sugar, everything. We got it. If you need it, we're going to be able to offer that to you. Okay. But right now, we're going to continue to stay on the owner's manual and continue to stay on topic. But I also want to talk about this parasite thing. Okay. This parasite thing. Everybody think they got a parasite. Everybody think they got a parasite. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why everybody thinks they got a parasite. So you guys go ahead and keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll go ahead and get into the subject matter at hand. How many people have been told that they have a parasite? Okay, put some ones in the chat if you've been told that you have a parasite or that all things are derived. First it was mucus, now it's parasites. Okay, and the reason why this is going on, we're going to discuss that today. And I want to get you a better understanding of actually what's going on in the body. But I also want to teach you what we teach in the HerbMan School as well, about not only the parasites, but the funguses, the bacteria, and the viruses. We're going to go over all that stuff today, you guys. So bear with me. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. And let's see exactly your understanding after we teach you this, and see if we can shed some light on maybe what you're going through in your health concerns. Okay, so many people today think almost every health issue is a parasite, and it is because you got several things colliding at the same time. Some partial truth there. Okay, also you have some social media amplification. Okay, you got distrust in modern medicine, and you have this desire to think that everything is a single, simple cause. Okay, and we're going to break that down today because that's not true. Everything is not a simple cause. I know y'all want to simplify it, or it's simple, just mucus, just parasite. Okay, all right, now, all right, we're gonna teach you today because parasites do exist, you guys. Yes, parasites do exist. Okay, but it's not just only in the form of those little worms and stuff inside of you, but also in human form. Okay, people are really trying to be parasitic or vampirish on the public, right? So parasites do exist and they can affect health. All right, now first, I want to teach you about the truth behind the idea of parasites. Okay, parasites can cause real problems in your health, such as your digestive system, your anemia, fatigue, nutrient depletion, right? Because they're just sucking you dry. All right, skin issues, yes. Neurological symptoms, yes. Okay, yes, they can do it. You have stuff like giardia, you got stuff like tinea, you got wingworms, you got hookworms, you got pinworms, you got roundworms. You have a lot of stuff that you got tapeworms. I know back in the day, grandma, you say, yeah, if you keep on eating, you got a tapeworm. And these things can come into your body through water, through pollutants, through your feet, through sanitary stuff, through uncooked meat. So if you guys eating sushi, you eating a lot of meat, yeah, definitely you can pick up some stuff. Okay, but historically, parasites. Okay, historically, parasites were far more common when sanitation was poor. Okay, that's when you really needed to be afraid of those parasites. But parasites are one category of a stressor, but it's not the cause of everything. And I think that people have that misnomer that parasites is the cause of everything. Can it cause some things? Yes, but it's not the cause of everything. Okay. And when you're looking at the internet and you're looking at how people are creating industry from your ignorance, you got to be more knowledgeable about how the body works. And that's why I'm on here. That's why I'm live on TikTok, live on YouTube, because we need to get a better understanding of what's really happening in the body. Now, biology is complex. Okay. And because it's so complex, it doesn't really spread well online. Okay. But real health issues usually involve multiple things, multiple systems, which is why we give you that foundational tonic, which is why we're teaching you about the owner's manual, which is why we have the panacea blend, which is why we have the HerbMan school, so that we can get you to understand that before this one thing is happening, a lot of things had already happened. Okay. And these multiple systems is going to include your metabolism, your hormones, your nervous system. Okay. They're going to include your immune system. Remember, neuroimmunology is going to include your gut microbiome, your mineral balance, all of that stuff. All of that stuff is going to be that complexity, which is hard to explain in these little 30-second and 1-minute videos on social media. So when people say messages like all diseases parasites, that's going to spread way better than me trying to teach you guys the complexity of your body. But when you come here on the HerbMan Show, we're offering this as an understanding. Okay. Because when you just say parasites, when you just say mucus, basically you giving everybody this one enemy and this one solution. And that's not proper health. That's not proper health. So you got the detox industry. The detox industry and its business model is to come in and put you in fear. And so parasites became popular as an alternative health. Parasites became popular as an alternative health thing, right? Because it wants you to buy the detox, then you're going to feel a little better, and then you repeat the cleanse again. So they're constantly having you come back and back and back as a repeatable product cycle. We ain't trying to do that. Okay. We ain't trying to do that. So this whole business model, this doesn't mean parasites never exist, but it becomes commercialized fear. And we're trying to get you over that by getting you more knowledgeable about what's going on, because a lot of symptoms look similar. A lot of things look similar. I just told you that parasites cause fatigue, but fatigue can come from iron deficiency. It can come from thyroid issues. It can come from sleep problems, sleep deprivation. It can come from blood sugar issues. It can come from nervous system dysregulation. Okay. Bloating. Oh, you got parasites because you bloated. But bloating can come from your microbiome not being good, the food intolerance that you got going on, stress, another one is low stomach acid as well. Okay. Oh, I got brain fog, I must have parasites. No, it could be inflammation. It could be, again, poor sleep was why you got brain fog. It could be your glucose instability. It could be dehydration. causing you brain fog. It doesn't have to be one thing. Okay, so someone experiencing these things may assume that they are parasites, but often the issue is multi-layered. Okay, often the issue is multi-layered. And so historically, parasites were blamed for everything. Even in the early 1900s, medicine often blamed parasites for many diseases. So it just came back full circle. Then later they want to say, it might not be that. It could be bacteria, viruses, genetics, et cetera, et cetera. But the reality is that it is a more balanced situation, and it's not just one thing. And health problems usually involve terrain, not just invaders. So we're not just going to focus on the invaders, like we don't focus on just the symptoms. We focus on the environment, aka the terrain. That's what you're learning here on the HerbMan Show. That's what you learn in the HerbMan School. And those are the herbs that you're going to get from me. Things that are going to help the terrain and the environment. Once we get the terrain and the environment good, your body will heal itself. Just point blank, bottom line. Okay. And so internal terrain determines your vulnerability to anything, because you're already walking around here with bacteria and fungus and parasites and viruses, but the terrain is good enough to keep it at bay. But when that immune system starts to dissipate or break down, that's when the invaders may be opportunistic. Okay. But when you got good mineral balance, you got strong digestion, when you got a diverse microbiome, when you have a regulated nervous system, you guys, when those things are strong, parasites or anything can rarely become dominant in your body. Okay. And this is why so many traditional systems over the years focus on strengthening the host instead of chasing pathogens. We focus on strengthening you. Even Dr. Sabi, all of these, we focus on you, giving you the material that you need to get over the situation. Okay. All right. And so with the owner's manual, we have herbs in there, you guys, that are going to be very beneficial for everything that you got going on in your life. The owner's manual is going to be beneficial for your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and your physical health. Now, the reason why this kind of jumped off the way that it did was because of the pandemic era. It started creating this pathogenic hyper awareness, right? So you started, oh, you know what I'm saying? I got to be, I got to do this, I got to do that. And so after the pandemic, people became very intensely focused on invisible organisms, right? Right. And so for the first time in modern history, billions of people were thinking daily about microbes, contamination, transmission of issues, hidden biological threats. Okay. And once the mind becomes turned on to this stuff, you guys, once the mind becomes turned on to trust the invisible invaders or tuned into the invisible invaders, it starts seeing them everywhere. You know, have you ever be alert? You know, you don't like ants, and then as soon as you see some ants, you start itching, even though the ants ain't on you. So psychology calls this what they call pattern amplification, right? And so you start seeing these things, and next thing you know, you itching, and it ain't no bugs on you. You think that you really got this stuff when you're really not. It's very, very much multi-layered in that. Okay. And then also during the pandemic, the trust in the institutions began to collapse. Okay. So you start changing your medical guidance. You started looking for alternative medicine. You started looking for censorship debates. You started looking for pharmaceutical profits rising. You started seeing all these things and was like, that ain't where I want to be. And that made a lot of us, especially the people dealing with the industry, you know, dealing with the pharmaceutical stuff, it made a lot of us distrust the mainstream medicine. And then we start looking for alternative explanations. This is where you get into a scary point, because now you're thinking that folks know stuff that they really don't know. Okay. And you're thinking that doctors are hiding parasites. You're thinking all this different stuff, but that's not the case. Okay. That's not the case. The thing is that you prefer a single villain because you don't want to do the work and you don't want to really learn the body. See, the brain loves simple narratives, you guys. Okay. And so instead of me teaching you mineral deficiency, oh, that's too much. Instead of me talking about your sleep disruption or circadian rhythm disrupt, oh, that's too much. Instead of me teaching you about metabolic dysfunction, you don't like that. Instead of me teaching you about endocrine stress, oh, there go another lesson. Instead of me teaching you about microbiome imbalance, oh, there goes something else. Instead of me teaching you about chronic inflammation, you would rather for it to be one enemy, one hidden enemy causing everything, and that's just simply not true. Okay. And historically, we always said, well, you got a demon, you got toxins and bacteria and parasites. Every era of human existence has had one of those things. Whether it was demonic, the bad human, toxins, bacteria, parasites, everybody wants that one single thing. And you got to understand that you got to know thyself. You are multifaceted. And there's multi layers and multi systems that will cause a breakdown in your health. Okay. All right. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Okay. So you must understand this. And so we're just going to teach you today that parasites are now becoming very psychologically powerful. Okay. And you need to know why. Because parasites is triggering this deep biological fear because they represent the loss of bodily control in your mind. Oh, they take over you. They make you think things and do things and do all this. They live inside of you. They consume your resources. They influence your behavior because you just been looking at too much crap. Okay. You just been looking at too much crap. And social media algorithms don't help because they're going to reward all that shock value. Okay. And the detox economy is getting rich off of you. Okay. Because they're diagnosing everyone with parasites. They're selling the detox cleanse protocols. They're telling you that just, when you take the detox, you see your symptoms temporarily change. But again, you need to repeat and take over again. Then they ain't did their job. Remember, I told you yesterday, you guys, if you got to keep doing it, I'm going to be looking at what I did wrong. I'm going to be looking at what I did wrong because you shouldn't be continuing to take anything. It should be a one and done, or maybe you have to go maybe you have to do a program or two, and that's it. And what you guys are experiencing is not parasites, it's mineral depletion. Okay. And so that's why I put it this way, because you're looking at sites that are being very parasitic to you. That's why I put it this way. You're looking at sites that are being very parasitic to your psychology. When you're starting to blame things on parasites, you got to really understand that the most underlying issues are mineral depletion. Okay, thank you guys for the likes. Thank you. Nervous system dysregulation, microbiome imbalance. Okay, the stuff that we just talked about, blood sugar instability, all of this stuff. That's really what's going on. And the owner's manual and helping you do this nervous system regulation, it aligns more accurately biologically to what's really going on in your life. Because health is all about rhythm. It's all about coherence. It's all about regulation, not just killing some organism inside of the body. And systems that restore regulation include the things that we've been teaching you about: your breathing, your humming, the movements, right? The subtle movements, the sunlight, the mineral dense plants that we've been teaching you guys about, the parasympathetic activation. That's really what you should be doing. And the owner's manual is that regulation model. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you that. Okay. And so those things really improve the body's terrain, which we know. I told you and I taught you this before. God created the environment the first 5 days before the 6th day he created man. So environment is the way to go. And when terrain improves, there's no parasite, there's no bacteria, there's no virus, there's no fungus that can really dominate in that type of climate. Okay. That's just, it just won't happen. And so what you got to do is you got to look at it and you got to ask yourself, do I want to kill the pathogen or do I want to strengthen the terrain? Which one do you want to do? Do you want to just kill the pathogen or do you want to strengthen the terrain? Because when I look at my ancestors, ancient systems focused on the terrain. They focused on the soil and they focused on the sunlight and the water for the plant. Okay? Hold all calls to after the live. You guys, please hold all calls to after the live. All right? They focused on the environment. When they plant wasn't growing or whatever, they focused on what they needed to do to create the right environment for that plant. And modern medicine is focusing on pathogens, and modern herbalists are focusing on pathogens. Okay? But I want to move you guys into understanding system biology and regulation. And that's why we teach the way that we teach. You know, that's why we teach the way that we teach. Okay? And you'll understand this even in the plants. Parasites are going to rarely be able to deal with a regulated environment. You know, nature has always contained parasites, you guys. You know, every ecosystem on Earth, there have always been parasites. From the forest to the ocean to the grasslands, they all contain parasites. That's why you have to spray and do all this type of stuff. But a healthy ecosystem rarely collapses because of a parasite. And the reason why is why. The reason why is why. Because when you got balance, you limit overgrowth. Period. When you got balance, that thing run like a well-oiled machine. It's too much for those things to handle. And you got to understand that when you're regulated, that regulation controls. Make sure that we still in the pocket over here. Are y'all with me? All right, so what we got here? Some people say, great. Yes, Sunshine 30. Yes, Ariel Dorsey. Yes, Zioni. So the parasites is going to represent the earth element, right? They're gonna represent the earth element. Okay. Now let's go bacteria, earth or water. So we're gonna teach you today, you guys. You guys can keep tapping, keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes on the live broadcast. Okay. I'm working for those likes. Bacteria. Which one do you think that which four elements do you think that they represent? Somebody said the air element. Okay. Somebody, a Zionist said the air element. Ariel Dorsey says the air element. Okay. Monica Modi, you are the winner. Okay. Dreamwalker, you are the winner. Okay. Bacteria represents the water element. Again, you guys are going to learn this in the herb school. Okay. All right. It's $1,000 for the early bird special. We start classes on April the 4th. If you don't have the $1,000, then you can ask for a payment plan. It'll be $100 a month. It's a 1-year course. I'm going to teach you all of this stuff. Long head, a long beard. Correct. All right. So viruses, which one of these do you think viruses is out of the fire and air? Which one do you think viruses represent out of the fire and the air? I want to teach you guys this stuff because once you start to understand that we got all of these things covered in your owner's manual, all this stuff is covered in the HerbMan school. All this stuff is covered in all of the herbal products that we push out on our website. Then you'll see that this is the most effective way to be able to heal yourself. Okay. All right. So we're talking about viruses. The air element is correct. Okay. Viruses. Yes. Viruses is here in the air element. So obviously we know that the last one is going to be fungus. Okay. The last one is going to be fungus, which represents the fire element. And we're going to talk about some of the things. Okay. So when you're looking at this right here, fungus is in the fire element. People dealing with yeast infections, people dealing with candida. Okay. That's a fire element situation right there. Now I can't put all of them on here, but we'll just say candida. Okay. Air element, the viruses. Okay. So these are like the pandemic. Okay. I don't really want to say that word on here, but it's like the pandemic, or it's like the respiratory issues, pneumonia, et cetera, can come out of this right here, right? Okay. And then I'm gonna put RSV for respiratory viruses, right? Okay. This right here, this is going to be what? This is like primarily your digestive system. You can have parasites in the bones. Okay. You can have all kinds of stuff going on right here, but it's an earth element conditioner. We're going to talk about this a little bit deeper. Water element with bacteria. Well, bacteria, we know you don't need stagnated fluids. Okay. So if you're looking at bacteria, you can have bacteria on the skin. Okay. You can have lymphatic system issues. Okay. So what we'll say here is for bacteria, we'll say watch out for staph infection. Okay. We'll say staphylococcus, staph, or we'll say streptococcus. Now I know y'all don't understand none of those words, but we'll talk about them a little later. Okay. We're going to talk about these, but the parasites, let's go there. Okay. Let's go there because this is what the video is about. All right. Parasites representing the earth element, right? All right. So y'all don't have to know the names of these things, but one of them is Tenia. Okay. Another one is Ascaris. All right. And when you understand the earth element is representing structure and matter and mass and all those types of things, then you see that parasites physically can attach themselves and consume material from the host. Again, like a vampire. Okay. Just like a vampire. And so you got to be careful of this because this can start to deal with your nutrient depletion. This can start to deal. Remember, I told you digestive disruption and fatigue. But more importantly, the reason why I'm telling you is that this is because some of us are got these things imbalanced here. You know, some of us got imbalances in these elements, which can make us be more prone to these types of things. Everybody ain't got an earth imbalance. There's no way everybody got an earth imbalance. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, you got to look at what your tendencies are. And that's why the owner's manual is very, very important. Now, if you have an earth imbalance, then you're likely to be able to have parasites. If you have a water imbalance, then that may be likely for you to have some bacterial overgrowth. If you have an air imbalance, then that may be likely for you to have some kind of viral load or some kind of viral activation. If you have a fire imbalance, that may make you likely to have fungal growth. Okay. It's all about the imbalance. And we teach you that in the HerbMan school, but also when you get your owner's manual. Okay. So I'm not advocating that everybody got to go to the HerbMan school. This is in your owner's manual. Okay. And the herb that we provide for you help you with all this stuff. It helps you with every single aspect of what we're teaching you. Okay. Every single aspect of what we're teaching you. So, okay, you got this earth imbalance. Okay, you got parasites, all right? And it's basically consuming your resources, right? And you'll start seeing worm infections. Again, the hookworm, the pinworm, the tapeworm, the ringworm. You'll start seeing these. So if you're an earth element person, you may see that you're having ringworms. You may see that you're having a tapeworm, or you may see that you're having some kind of worm infection or some kind of protozoa infection. Okay. If you are imbalanced in the water area, you may see that you're having, well, first of all, what does the bacteria does? Well, fermentation, letting food sit in the body. These people dealing with H. pylori, people dealing with all kinds of stuff. Are you water imbalanced? Because this bacteria is going to thrive off of fermentation and inflammation. So you may see pneumonia and UTIs. You may see food poisoning issues, right? Where you're not, you ate the wrong food. Okay. Viruses. Viruses is all about information hijacking. They want the information so that they can create their own little mimic your DNA. Okay. So you may see that you're more prone to flus. You're more prone to maybe hepatitis B and C, herpes viruses, HIV. Come on, HIV. Come on, somebody. That means that there's an air imbalance. Okay. The funguses are just as bad. But these are things that are dealing with decomposition. They're breaking down things on the body, but also they're growing, they're overgrowth. So if you're looking at mold diseases and yeast infections can come from the imbalance of the fire element. Anybody ever knew this? If you know this, put some ones in the chat. If you knew this, put some ones in the chat. Okay? That's if you knew this. So you got ascarius, right? Or ascariasis, malaria. What they call it? Geodarsis. These things are parasitic. They live off the host resources. That's how you start feeling depleted and everything. But remember, it can still be multifaceted. Okay? It can still be mostly faceted. Okay? Bacteria, the water element, pneumonia, tuberculosis, cholera, urinary tract infection. Come on, somebody. So you got to know your imbalances. In other words, you got to know your tendencies. We teach you that in the owner's manual. We teach you that in the owner's manual. If you have the fire element imbalance, it may be, again, it's going to be in the upper body, right? If you got imbalances in the air, it's going to be what? The respiratory, but it can also be the lower legs. It can also be stuff dealing with the flow of the body. If you got water imbalance, it could be the fluids, it could be the skin, it could be fertility issues. Okay? If you got the earth element, which is what we're talking about today, then it could be at the core of the body. It can also be dealing with the bones. You got to know your imbalances. And we can show you these things. We can help you with these things, okay? We can help you with these things. Okay, we can help you with them. When you're looking at the fire element, also you're looking at what? Hypertension, multiple sclerosis, myositis. What is it that you got going on? But more importantly, what is my tendencies and how can I reclaim the environment? Because every plant needs fire, air, earth, and water, just like every human. Okay? You got a lack of the air element. Yes, you could be dealing with bronchitis and asthma. You also be dealing with chronic kidney diseases, pulmonary embolism. All this type of stuff comes from this air element. And when your air becomes stagnant, waste can accumulate in the body. Do you know that? No. You don't know it. You see? You don't know it. The water element issues, okay? Edema, lymphedema, psoriasis, endometriosis, right? What are you dealing with? How am I able to know the environment and what is excessive and what is lacking so that I can provide the right thing? You got to get what we've been teaching you how to get, okay? Type 2 diabetes, the earth element, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, hyperthyroidism. These are the earth element stuff. And you talking about parasites. It ain't in everything. Okay? It ain't in everything. Okay? It is not in everything. That candida is in a lot of people dealing with that fire element issue. You could be a fire element or you could be imbalanced in the fire element and you always got candida. Maybe you're dealing with aspergillosis, okay? You're dealing with some kind of fungus in the body that you can't get rid of. Histoplasmosis, okay? This stuff is causing a lot of these issues and you think it's just parasites? No. The air element, again, so prone to sinuses and cold and flu, hepatitis B and C, herpes simplex, HIV, very, very prone. Here, the air elements. You could be an air element and have these issues. You could be imbalanced in the air element and have these issues. All of us got all four of these things that we have to see and adjust to understand what do I need to do in my environment to produce the results that I'm looking for. Okay? The water element with the bacteria, we know cellulitis, all right? Pelvic inflammatory diseases, boils, abscesses. So if you got boils under your arm, if you're dealing with skin issues, a lot of times that's the water element, not the earth. So that's not parasitic, that's bacterial. Oh, I got eczema. It's not parasites. The skin doesn't belong to the earth element, it belongs to the water element. We teach you that, okay? Infertility from infection, swelling, pus formation, mucus and fluid buildup. That's water. That's water. Okay? Now, when you're dealing with the parasitic stuff, yes, it can happen to your digestive system. You start getting malabsorption, abdominal pain, you start having nutrient deficiency. It can happen. All has to do with the lymphatic system, lymphatic blockage. I beg to differ, but the lymphatic system is a part of everything. So yes, but it don't all have to do with it. You see how they come on here, Mars Star. You see how everybody wants this one solution. That's why you haven't been corrected. If you right, then you should be the #1 doctor on the planet, Mars Star. You're not that simplistic. It's more complex than that. It's people like you that feel like they got that one answer. Oh, it's parasites. Oh, it's mucus. Oh, it's the lymphatic system. If you knew, then you wouldn't even have none of the issues you got. You wouldn't have heart disease, cancer. You wouldn't have aging because you know the answer. And you see that we've been dealing with the lymphatic system. We've been dealing with the immune system. We've been dealing with everything. It's not that simple. That's why you need to learn thyself. You're more complex than what you give yourself credit for. And you need a system that can have and handle all of the complexity of the human experience. And the HerbMan School will teach you that, but the owner's manual will reveal your tendencies within you. You see what I'm saying? Because you ain't the first person that said lymphatic system, Mars Star. Actually, you're regurgitating that because we've been knowing about the lymphatic system now for 30 to 50 years. But it's still not working. Cancer is at a rise. Although you know that it's the lymphatic system, you still can't stop this stuff from happening in your body or in the medical institution. So why is the question? If we know it's parasites, why we can't stop nothing? If we know it's the lymphatic system, why we can't stop nothing? If we know it's the immune system, why we can't stop nothing? If we know the fungal environments are going to love sugar. Okay? The fungal environments are going to love sugar and inflammation in the body. That's what feed funguses, inflammation and sugar. The viral environments are going to love a weakened immune system. Okay? If your stuff can't communicate properly, aka autoimmune, the air elements, the viral elements, they're going to love that your little weakened immune system is not working properly. And then now you're coming down with HIV, herpes, and all this stuff very easy. Respiratory issues, et cetera, et cetera. The bacterial environments, they're going to love stagnated fluid. You're not moving your fluid properly. You're not exercising. You're not taking burdock and red clover. And you're not doing none of these particular things to move that water. Bacterial environments are just going to grow in that stagnant fluid. Parasitic environments, they're going to love nutrient deficient people. If you got nutrient depletion, that sets the environment for parasites to come in. Okay? Any questions thus far? So the question is, what environment in my body allowed? So I always wanted to be an herbalist, brother, so I can help people. Okay, well, but then go to the HerbMan School. Because just coming on here saying one thing, you're not going to be that good of a herbalist. I've been there, done that already, Master. Okay, I'm way ahead of the fray when it comes to this information. You see what I'm saying? We already been there and done that. Focusing on the lymphatic system, you'll still mess around here and have people die under your care. Just focusing solely on parasites, you'll still have people dealing with issues under your care. So you have to learn the whole body. Don't cheat this thing. Don't cheat it. Do not cheat this thing, because the Hippocratic oath says that I come to help, not hurt. Don't cheat it. Learn everything. Okay? Learn everything. If you want to sign up for the HerbMan School, if you got your $1,000 for the early bird special, go to the website, pay $1,000, you're in. School starts April the 4th. If you need payment plan, then you DM me and we'll get you that information. Okay? Because I'm going to teach you the whole thing. And I'm going to teach you the truth. But I'm also going to teach you this ancient system that encompasses everything. Okay? Fire element is about the mental health. The air element is about the spiritual health. The earth element is about the physical health. The water element is about the emotional health. So then you got all of that too. Now it's going to coincide with these things as well. Then you got body systems. The fire element is about the nervous system and the circulatory system and the muscular system. And the air element is about the excretory system and the respiratory system. You see what I'm trying to say? And the earth element is about your integumentary system and your digestive system and your endocrine system. And the water element is about your lymphatic system and you get it now? So we're going to tie all of this in to everything that's going on. And this is the information they don't want you to get, but this is the information that we need. We got to have it. And I'm here presenting it. And I'm giving you guys an opportunity. That's it. It's an opportunity. Okay? The owner's manual is that thing. It's that health assessment for all of us. Okay? It's that thing because it's talking about this internal environment. And you got to know that your internal environment, first of all, it exists. It's a real thing. And if you got a lot of inflammatory heat in the body, yes, that's a very good area for fungus to grow. If you got this signaling disruption going on in your immune system, yes, you're easily to come down with viruses. Okay. If you got this fluid stagnation going on, it's very easy for you to get this bacterial infections. If you got this nutrient depletion going on, it's very easy for you to now say, yes, now I may think that I got parasites, but you got to put it all together. So from your birthday, we can tell which one that you're going to be having that prone to. I'm an air sign. I'm a double air fire, right? Because I'm a Gemini, Sagittarius, but my life path number is a 6, which also represents the air element. So not only I just told you all that, but then you got fire, which is going to be numbers 3 and 8 and 9, life path number. You got air, which is going to be numbers 4, 6, 11, and 33. You got the earth. You see how all of it is in here? It's all in here. We're teaching you that in your owner's manual and also in your in the HerbMan School. So you got to understand that disease is not a chasing the pathogens and chasing symptoms. This thing becomes an environmental message, not just some enemy in the body. Okay. Any questions thus far? Longbeard Capricorn, yeah, get your owner's manual, man. If you want to see me work, pay your little measly funky $50 and let me work for you. Let me show you what Mama Nature says about her creation. Not what I got to say about you, not what the doctors got to say about you, not what your pastor, mama, and therapist said about you, but what Mama Nature, the manufacturer of life itself, has to say about the creation. That's what we're doing. We're bringing Mama Nature into the mix. Say, well, there's 2 or 3 gathered, I will be there also, okay? Mama Nature brings it into the mix, okay? So that fire element is about energy and movement. That air element is about communication and signaling, right? Viruses are about information, communication. That water element is about nourishment and immunity. That earth element is about structure and stability. Okay. Every disease reflects which survival priority lost the balance. But you don't know this stuff because you don't have your owner's manual, and the doctors is not going to do this. This is what the doctors are not doing. They're not doing it this way, but this is the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it, my brother. Your air, fire, Twilight. So you already see you got a lot of fire. Okay. The other people putting up there, y'all don't got your owner's manual. So I don't, just putting your sign don't mean nothing. Okay. But Twyla got hers, so we know she's an air, fire. So what's that mean? That's a lot of fire. So you're prone to the fungus, prone to candida and yeast infections. Also, you know, if you ever had one of them abscesses in your teeth, right? Teeth decay and all this stuff, and bad breath, fungus in the breath, thrash, you know, all this stuff that goes on in the mouth. Twilight said that's true. You see, people who got their owner's manual, I can work with them. Air, water, fire. So you got air, water, fire. The one that you don't got is the earth, right? You see that, sunshine? You got air, water, fire. So that means that these are also, you can be prone to too, funguses, viruses, and bacteria. But the one that you don't got is the one that I would be more paying attention to, parasites. Okay, she said yes. You see that? Air, fire, air. I just said that. So that's a lot of air. So the viruses, watching your respiratory system, watching pneumonia, COPD, watching any kind of airborne viruses, airborne, right? Any kind of airborne viruses, you want to be watching out for that type of stuff. I am that I am. Okay. Watch your lungs. Man it with the earth, water, air. So man, you got everything except for what? Fire. Now that means that you're prone to some of this other stuff, but you want to watch out for this fungus. All right. So that means watch out for athlete's foot. Manning. Okay. Your toenails could be black. Toenails got fungus in them. So you got to watch out for those things. See, fungus can come any kind of way. It ain't just got to be in your breath and it can also be in them toes, man. All right. So you wash them toes, but at the same time, you can have prone to this other stuff. It's just that you're balanced in those things from what you just told me. So I would be more concerned with what I don't see. Right? What I don't see. Dandruff. Okay. Dandruff and stuff like that as well is a fungus to me. So dandruff, eye crust, this all, you know, you got to look at the color of it. It's green. Toe jam, athlete's foot, that stuff be green. So that mucus build up like that, you want to watch out for because it can start fungal infections. And athlete's foot is a fungal infection. If your toenails is black, you prone to it. Anybody else? Okay, nobody has said who had their owner's manual. Nobody here has said anything wrong with what we're talking about. Why? Because we have this system down packed. Now we're just able to teach it in a robust way, you know. But this is the stuff that I come on here every day to try to divulge and expose to my people because it's real stuff. And ain't nobody doing this. They trying to trick you with sound bowls and they're trying to trick you with frequencies and hertz. And come on, man. That stuff worked for a minute and then it don't work at all no more. It worked for a little minute, then it don't work at all. And then you got to go back and buy something else. Let me go back and get another frequency. Let me go back and get some more Reiki healing. Let me go back and get me some more herbs from this person, that person. Let me go back and get some more this and some more that because ain't nobody focusing on the total you. Let me go back and refill my meds. Why? Monica Modi, water, earth, fire. So the one that you're missing is what? Air, right? If you're water, earth, and fire, then the one thing you're missing is air. So watch that cold and flu, sinuses, respiratory issues. Watch your breathing. Okay, watch these viruses out here. Okay, now it don't mean that you're not prone to that other stuff because you got it in your chart, but the one that's missing is the one I'm always paying attention to. Viruses. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else? Remember, I told you guys the air elements, imbalancing the air element, flu, pandemic, COVID, HIV, human immunodeficiency virus infections, herpes simplex, the Epstein-Barr virus, viral nephritis. This is stuff, and even air elements can even start having stuff going on with the kidneys. Okay? Hold all calls to after the live, you guys. You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Let's get us up to 100K. All right. Mine is earth, water, fire. Okay, so you want to watch the what? What's the one thing you're missing? The air. Okay, the air element. You're missing that one, right? So I just called that one out. Okay, I just called that one out. So cold, flu, pandemic, HIV, herpes simplex, EBV, viral nephritis, respiratory issues. Okay, that's what you want to watch out for. Baby girl said, I have my owner's manual and excited about learning this year in the class. Sign up. The early bird special, $1,000 or $100 a month before the end of March. Sign up. Okay. Bacteria. Again, I told y'all about staph. Okay. Staphylococcus, streptococcus, cellulitis. Okay. We told you guys about this. Pelvic inflammatory diseases. So if you're dealing with lymph node swelling, if you're dealing with pus and discharge from the body, okay, if you're dealing with skin inflammation, so that's why you talk about eczema and all this type of stuff. We try to teach you guys what this is about. Water. It's about the water. Okay, that's what we're trying to teach you guys about. H. pylori. Okay, osteomyelitis. Okay, all of these things, that's parasitic, that's the earth. There's a lot of us got H. pylori infection. You don't know. This stuff can deal with bone weaknesses, endocrine imbalances, nutrient depletion, and digestive disruption. Come from that earth. Okay? Anybody else? See, the owner's manual it's reframing disease from enemy invasion and symptom chasing to ecosystem imbalance. Okay? That's what we're doing. The owner's manual and what I'm teaching in an HerbMan brand is trying to tell you that they've been wrong every time. When you go to the doctor, you say pain is here. They give you something for here, but they don't give you something for in here. Right? You say, well, yeah, they do. They pop a pill, but it's just for that location. But it ain't that location. It's what you've been doing to cause the issue. And instead of asking you what organism is attacking you, the better question that we're trying to get you guys to learn is what internal environment allowed this organism to dominate me in the first place. It's just like a garden. You got the little bugs and stuff on your plant. What you gonna do? You got to fix the environment of the plant. You ain't finna do nothing with the plant but thump the bug off. Your little plant hung over and it's yellow. What you gonna do? You're gonna fix the environment that the plant is in. Do it need more water? This, that, and the third. Neil, we already talked about stroke and blood clots. Get your owner's manual, or you can go to the website and type in Vitality, and that'll help you out with that, okay? How do I obtain the owner's manual? You DM me on this app. You can DM me and we'll get you the link. Okay. And that question about the environment is the perspective that really fits perfectly with not only the owner's manual, but with how you actually heal people. I used to hear Dr. Saber said all the time, we know what's missing. When my plant is yellow, if you're a good gardener, you know what's missing. If I got worms on my plant, if I got ants on my tomatoes, you know what's missing. You're not going to finna pull up all your tomatoes. You're going to do something to that environment to keep those insects and keeps those pesticides off your plants. Do y'all understand? Put some ones in the chat if y'all are getting this, man. Please put some ones in the chat if you're getting it. It's your environment. People, you got to be an environmental specialist. I used to be back in the day, they used to say, I'm a detox specialist. And you know, I'm a detox specialist, man. That's what we do. We detox specialists. All you doing is depleting the body. And I had to learn that ain't true. That's not the role you really want to be. You don't need to be a detox specialist. You need to be an environmental specialist. To really heal people and help people heal themselves, you don't need to be a detox specialist. If you go to anybody and they say, yeah, I'm a detox specialist, now we know everybody know how to take something to poop. Hell, you can go up there to the GNC yourself and buy some Bacillium husk and it'll make you poop. You can go get some X-Lax, it'll make you poop. That ain't no great thing to be no detox specialist. That's feeding in to this thing. Everybody want a parasitic cleanse. It's not one thing that is ailing you. It's you are a multifaceted, multi-layered human being, and we got to look at the total you. Get your owner's manual today so that you can start seeing what tendencies that you may have to start working on. Even your children. You need to see what is it that they have a tendency to deal with: bacterial infection, parasitic infection, viral loads, or fungal infections. You'll know all of that by their birthday. We are environmental specialists. Somebody put on in the chat, please, environmental specialists, not detox specialists. This is live on TikTok, you guys. We're also live on YouTube. Go get somewhere, get situated. Hopefully they don't shut us down, and you'll be able to get this on YouTube as well. Okay, so many people have been talking about that. Anthony Ross said they'll fire, air, fire. So you see your imbalance is already here, fungus. So Anthony Ross, them toenails, that athlete's foot, they'll tell on you every time, Anthony. Okay, them toenails, got too much fire. Watch them toenails. I always say that in men because men think that they can't get no yeast infection and this, that, and the third. It's in them toenails. Okay? If you got too much fire, my brothers, watch your toenails. Also, watch the back of your head. A lot of them jokers, they be getting funguses in the back of their head right now. In that little fat back. Start getting that fungus right there. Okay? Also, because of the air, you also want to watch out for your lungs. Watch out for your immune system, your autoimmune system. Okay? Sunshine Creation said, oh my God, I said that. Yes, we turning people into environmental specialists, not detox specialists. Okay? And that's what we're changing the paradigm. We're changing the mainframe. This is a movement. And we've created a machine. The owner's manual, the HerbMan School, the Panacea blend, the detoxes, the Vitality blend, the sugar blend, all these herbs that we are producing on that website, they are movements. And we're not dealing with a whole lot of herbs. We're dealing with 12 or 13 herbs that we know for a fact can help you in your time of need. My son has all of this on his body. What do we need? The Panacea blend. If you don't want to get his owner's manual, widows now, if you don't want to get his owner's manual, which is my recommendation, because we need to know exactly what he needs. But if you don't want to do that for that little funky measly $50, then go to the website and get him the Panacea blend. The Panacea blend is the foundational tonic. So it's going to create the environment. When it creates the environment, then your body has the material to start to deal with all these things, okay? But if you're dealing with all of them, then that's a true imbalance in the environment, right? Remember that plant, that yellow plant, okay? Why my plant yellow? You got to look at that. Why is the plant weak? And then you got to look at, do it need better soil? Do I need more water? Do it need more sunlight? Do it need more nutrient density in the soil? You got to look at those things. So when you see your baby going through all that stuff, oh, my baby got viruses and bacteria, can't go outside, got allergies, got this and got that. That's that little yellow plant. They weak. And you got to ask yourself, when you look at that plant grow, you can't try to go straight for them diseases that they say he got. You got to look at the environment that baby in. And that's going to help him with those now, okay? What will I use for H. Polo or pylori? Is that what you meant to say? The HerbMan School will be 2 weekends a month, okay? I'm going to give y'all 2 weekends off, and then it'll be 2 weekends a month for a whole year. So this is a 1-year course. It's an initiation into this HerbMan School. You guys ain't going to be able to just get this on those 6 to 8 weeks. It won't happen like that. Don't y'all see how much information that y'all going to have to learn? I don't know how many of y'all been watching me, but do you see how much information you got to learn? You got to learn the 12 body systems. You got to learn the 12 cell salts. You got to learn the 12 zodiac. You got to learn the 12 or 13 herbs we're going to give you. You got to learn these things right here, right? All this stuff comes in, right? Then not only that, now you got to learn the birthday. Then you got to learn how to calculate and how to compass, and you got to learn how to do all this stuff. So this is not an overnight success. But once you get it, you got it, you're good. Okay? Yeah, what would I use for H. pylori? So Sherry, we just told you that. Which one of these is H. pylori? Anybody can help Sherry? Anybody can help Sherry? Which one of those were H. pylori? Anybody can help Sherry? Sherry, what is your sign? What is your sign, Sherry? Well, I appreciate you for coming, Marv Star. I appreciate you for coming. I want to know Sherry's sign. What is your sign, Sherry? Oh, you just got on here, you're looking for answers? Get your owner's manual. Okay? Get your owner's manual. H. pylori is the earth. Oh, thank you, Marv Star, man. We appreciate you, man. We come on every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so we're on here. See, my son or my sign. I got to make sure that we're communicating properly. I know y'all like to type real fast. You're saying your son has H. pylori, but you are a Gemini, or are you saying that your sign is a Gemini? Because I don't want to move further until we do it. Look, you guys, H. pylori is the earth element. Remember digestive system. Okay? Remember the earth element, digestive system. Now, I know y'all saying water because H. pylori is a bacterial. Can you pay monthly for the class? Yes. You pay $100 a month for the class. But you got to sign up now before the end of March, okay? Because the price is going to double. When I start class April the 4th, this class goes up to $2,500 per year. Let me repeat that for you guys. When I start class April the 4th, This HerbMan school goes to $2,500. Now you could pay $200 a month. Right now we have an early bird special because I want to get as many people in and get y'all started. So we doing for $1,000 if for a one-time fee, or you would have to pay $100 a month, which is going to equal out to $1,200 by the time the year is over. Okay, but you got to register before the end of March. Okay. Sherry said that she's a Gemini. Okay, so we don't know everything about you, Sherry. Okay, we don't know everything about you just because you told me you're a Gemini. I'm telling you that you're dealing with an earth condition, but I got to do your owner's manual to know exactly what's going on. Can we help you with this? Yes, once we identify what it is, you can help you. So all you can do, Sherry, right now, if you don't want to get your owner's manual, you go to the website and type in Panacea Blend. Okay, and that Panacea Blend is going to get you what you need, right? This is what it's called, Panacea Blend. Okay, you go to the website, you type in this. If you guys don't want to give me your birthday and do all this stuff that we're talking about, then this is the best solution for you. Okay, if you guys don't want to go to the school, you don't want to get your owner's manual, and you just up here throwing out stuff and you don't know what to do, get this. Go to the website and type in Panacea Blend. When is the best time to take my natal blend? The time that your natal chart tells you to, right? It should be the time that your natal chart tells you to. Now you got something to do morning and midday and afternoon and evening, right? But if it's telling you to take it 3 times a day, then you just go and you pick out those 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. The website, loveherbman.com. Okay, loveherbman.com. LOVEHERBMAN.com. Or you can just hit the link in the bio, you guys. I mean, y'all asking me about the website. Just hit the link in the bio. Anthony Ross, you still on here? All right, so yes, you can have parasites, you guys. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to teach y'all. You can have parasites, but parasites is not everything. Okay, it is not everything. It is not everything, and it's not everything. And if your body is good enough environmentally, there's no parasite that can really dominate that plant. Okay, the school for advanced or beginner friendly is for beginners. Everybody is a beginner. Nobody knows this stuff. So it don't matter what. It don't matter if you're a teacher. It don't matter if you've been an herbalist for 40 years. It don't matter if you're a doctor. It don't matter what. You are a beginner to this information. So everybody is a beginner. Moderator, would you please write the website up there for this young lady? Or Sherry, just DM me. Just DM me, okay? If you can just DM me, you can follow me, you DM me, you send me a direct message, we'll get it to you, okay? We're not going to make a big fuss about how you get to me because it's there. All right? Anybody else? Yes, but everybody is a beginner. This is the first HerbMan's class. So everybody is a beginner. And when you finished, you're going to be advanced. But when you start, you're a beginner. The website is not HerbMan Inc. It's www.loveherbman.com. I'll post it up here, you guys. How do you pin stuff up here? Even that's if they let me pin it. Because I don't really talk on her. Yeah, you'll just have to DM me because I don't know how to pin and y'all got me doing too much. Okay, but this is the website here. And don't go to no more parasites. Okay, don't go to no more parasites. All right, we don't need no more parasites spewing fear and all that type of stuff. Get the multi-layered understanding, because what you think is a parasite could be a fungus. What you think is a parasite could be a virus. What you think is a parasite could be a parasite. What you think is a parasite could be bacteria. So don't go to no more parasites, because they ain't doing nothing but spreading fear. And there is no one solution to none of this stuff. Okay? And y'all see that? LoveHerbMan.com. LoveHerbMan.com. Can it be all of them? If your body is doing all of these, come on, man. If your body is doing all of these, come on, man. Okay? If your body is doing all of these, come on, man. So I would say, yes, it can be, but it's rare. That's a rare thing. Okay? That's a rare thing that you got parasites, bacteria, viruses, and funguses. Because I'm the next question I'm going to ask is, how are you still alive? If viruses is changing your communication, if funguses is overgrowing on your body, if parasites is leaching off of you, and if bacteria is infecting your blood, wow, I'm trying to figure out how you still living. You see what I'm saying? Now, is it possible? Probably, because all things are possible, but it's very rare that you can be dealing with all of these. So when you get your owner's manual, we'll allow you to understand the most probable tendency that you can be coming up with, okay? The most probable tendency. All right. Any other questions about this before we move on? Any other questions? Any other questions before we move on? Ant, I was just asking about you, Ant, because I wanted to. I know I was talking about them toenails now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't say nothing about them toenails. It's all good. I know you probably don't want to put your business out there. But see, for me as well, I'm an air fire. Okay, I'm an air fire. So I have to watch out for my respiratory system, watch out for influenza, colds, and flus, watch out for these airborne viruses. All right, but I got a little fire, so I also got to watch out for fungus. My toenails is ugly than a sunbeam. But didn't nobody tell me this. So I went to the military. I'm wearing boots. I'm doing all of this stuff, not knowing my tendency. And that's where the owner's manual is going to come in at, is for you to start knowing your tendencies. And it's easier. So now when I go in now, also this stuff on my face. Everybody be talking about my little stuff on my face. Well, the military made me shave. Well, I didn't know nothing about pseudofolliculitis. I didn't know that I was prone to pseudofolliculitis. Then I was in jail and went to prison. I didn't know nothing about staphylococcus. Because I didn't know my tendencies. So I ran right into these speed bumps. I ran right into these ditches in the road. I ran right into these traffic jams of life, because I did not know my tendencies. Yeah, so now you done gave me pseudofolliculitis. Now the pseudofolliculitis, now you say, oh, well, you got what they call something skin. Well, you just gonna get, I forgot what they call it, but man, y'all didn't tell me. Who knew that? Who knew that? What are the three categories you're talking about? Neil, when you get your owner's manual, we're going to be able to understand your tendencies to know which one of these you're more prone to. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about, keloid skin. There you go, KK. I ain't know nothing about no keloid skin. Who the world says something about keloid skin? Sherry, what you mean, my money? What you talking about now? DM me, Sherry. How long does it take to see results from the panacea blend? You're going to see results as soon as you start taking it. You start seeing results from these types of herbs and this type of remedy, I would say within the first 3 days. Okay. First 3 days, you're going to start seeing mucus, elimination, and you're going to start seeing yourself getting better. Okay? Now, the deeper your issue, the longer you may have to take it. The more surface your issue, the shorter you may have to take it. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about seeing results, that happens in the first 24 to 72 hours. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Sherry. I got you. So you tired. Until you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you'll keep on spending until you come to this information and you start coming to these lives. I do this live on TikTok and YouTube, so that and I know people are watching. I know people are on the FYP. They don't want to come on the live, but I know that there's people in the FYP watching. I know that there are herbalists that are watching me. I know that there are top herbalists that are watching little old me, because I'm bringing to this thing a full spectrum system, and they're jotting it down and they're trying to figure it out and they're trying to get it themselves. And that's okay. But you can't beat a system without a system. And herbalists, naturopathics, homeopathics, and osteopathics, chiropractics, and the allopathic, their system is non-existent. And the allopathic is the only one that's got a system. So how you gonna defeat the allopathic system when you ain't got no system yourself in alternative medicine? Preventative medicine doesn't have a system. So a lot of you guys are trying to pick and choose sides. So you say, well, I'm gonna go and do traditional Chinese medicine. Okay, it's folks in China still leaving away from here. Oh, I'm gonna go and do the traditional African medicine. I know for a fact it's folks in Africa still leaving away from here. Oh, I'm gonna do the Western herbalism and the Southern herbalism, and it's folks over here still leaving away from here with all this information that you claim. Oh, I'm gonna do Ayurvedic. I love the Indian medicine. I'm gonna go to India and get with the, if folks in India leave them away from here faster than you think. So that means that there is a gap in information. And the reason is because you're trying to associate and affiliate with one demonstrative that doesn't have a full scale understanding of the planet. So what I did was, let me go and learn traditional Chinese medicine, traditional African medicine. Let me learn a little Ayurvedic, and let me learn some Western and Southern herbalism. And then you understand that now I'm using this universal concept, because the plant that you need for the disease that you got may not even be grown in America. The plant that you need for the disease that you got may not even be in China. And you say, well, why? When they say that herbs grow in your backyard and this, that, and the third, that's when we wasn't a mixing melting pot. Now we're so mixed up and so melted up that our diseases are mutating into this universal conceptual type of diseases. That's why you got something all the way from China came to America and you caught it. And your mama and them got to take vaccines for it. Because we become a smelting pot of a universal concept that now you must derive out of the ground with this universal access to the herbs. So every herbalist should have some Ayurvedic, some African herbs. Every herbalist should have some Caribbean herbs. Every herbalist should have some Western and Western herbs. Every herbalist should have some traditional Chinese medicine, some Ayurvedic, some African. You need access to everything, because the diseases that you're dealing with are mutating and they can come from anywhere, and the plant may not grow in your backyard. You see? And so people in Asia are getting things that the Asian fruits and vegetables and plants can't handle. And people in Africa are getting things that African herbs can't handle, because these diseases are mutating because we're mixing together as human beings. So now, instead of getting a piece of the pie, I want my whole pizza. And the owner's manual and the HerbMan school is teaching you how to look at the earth as your grounds, as your garden, and not just in your backyard. The owner's manual and the HerbMan brand is teaching people how to look at the earth as their full garden and not just them plants in your backyard. Because it's going to be something that you coming down with because you've been mixing in. That plant in your backyard ain't going to have nothing to do with it. And what are you going to do? How are you going to help yourself? How are you going to heal yourself? Okay? This is the fundamental principles that we're bringing to it. Okay? What would be for the eye health and toenail fungus? So you can get your panacea blend. Ants, get your panacea blend if you don't want to get your owner's manual. Your owner's manual is the answer to all y'all questions. But if you don't want to get that, and you're just trying to shop on your own, you need to get the panacea blend so we can cover everything. The panacea blend is a foundational tonic. So it's not going to be chasing eye health and chasing toenail fungus. It's going to be chasing environment. Okay. They told me to take liquid root and a probiotic. What is a liquid root? I never heard of liquid root. Sherry, I ain't never heard of liquid root. Okay. I never heard of liquid root. Anything else that you guys want to talk about before I get up out of here? Because it's about my time. If you guys are interested in anything that you hear here today, you can go to the website or you can DM me and we'll get you the links that you need. Okay. Anything else before I get up out of here? You know, I don't try to stay long now, not no more. I come strong. I hear you, Aunt. You said tendencies. Yeah, so we're trying to make people environmental specialists. Can the NATO and panacea blend be taken together? No, there's no need to do that, widow. Widows now, there's no need to do that. That's doubling down on too much nutrition, right? So you're going to overwork your kidneys and stuff because now you put so much nutrition and material in the body that you got to discard some of that stuff, right? Remember that when you're trying to build health, you need the material. So the panacea blend, your owner's manual herbs, all of those things are the materials for you to detox. If you're trying to detox and you don't have the material, your body won't detox. If you're trying to repair organs and you don't have the right material to build a new organ or regenerate a new organ, then it won't be regenerative. If you're trying to be preventative and you're telling yourself, I want to be preventative from anything, well, you got to have material to stay preventative. So it's all about nutrition first, material first, task second. Somebody put that in the chat, please. Material first, task second, okay? Material first. Okay? Task second. Now, I'm going to go even further, and I'm going to do it like this. Task is third. Material is second. I just said that just so you get that concept. So what's first? And I'm going to end it with this. I said material first just so I can beat it in your head that you can't be asking your body to do something without the material. But what's first? Material is actually second. The task is third. When you're building a house, what do you need first before you get the material? When you're building something, what do you need first before you went and got them plants and built your little raised bed? And before you put the seeds in there, what did you have to do? Thank you, young Madam CJ. Thank you, young Madam CJ. I know you was trying to talk about 125, but you said the right thing. Blueprint. Right? You need the blueprint. Now, I know that person was talking about something on my website, but they used the right word. Before you do material and tasks, you need the blueprint. That's the owner's manual. Before you order material, you need a blueprint. That's your owner's manual. Y'all keep ordering material from everybody without the blueprint. Or either you skipping this right here and just trying to get your body to do the task. I want to detox without the proper material and without no knowledge of a blueprint. Now I'm trying to get you to understand how you're gonna be living in your apartments if didn't nobody blueprint it. How you gonna be living in your house if didn't nobody draw it up as architecture? How you gonna be doing your job if didn't nobody have a blueprint of how it goes first? Yes, blueprint first, material second, and then you can give it a task to do. Matter of fact, it's gonna do the task itself. This is just how your body works. Blueprint first, material second, and then the task come naturally when you give it the material. So that's the proper order, is the blueprint first. Then your blueprint, you seeing it, okay, these are my tendencies, these are my this, that, and the third, this is my this, that, and the third, and then, oh, dang, bro gave me the material down here now. So now I got the blueprint as an owner's manual. Then I got now he gave me the material I need to build this type of health and wealth. And so now I got the material. Then once I take the material in, whether it be taking the herbs, eating the foods that's coming into your owner's manual, whether it be doing the nature-based interventions, the emotional releases, he gave me the blueprint on me. Then gave me the material. Once you get the material, which is the emotional releases, the foods, the herbs, and the nature-based intervention, these are your materials. So you got the blueprint, then you do the materials, and the task that you are seeking, healing, curing, whatever you want to call it, regeneration, rejuvenation, transformation, it'll automatically start to come. And if ain't nobody teaching you like this, they're not teaching you. So when you go to other people's website, when you go to other people's live, and I want to challenge you guys to this, all 67 of you guys watching, I think I got about 60, 65 people watching. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. I want to challenge you guys to go to other people's website and say, what's the first thing I need to build a building? If they get it wrong, move on. Now I challenge you to go to all your favorite herbalists that you love. And hopefully they're not sneaking this information, but we know they're watching on the FYP page. But go to your favorite herbalist. If they can't offer you the blueprint, don't accept the material. If they can't offer you a blueprint, don't accept the material. Even the doctor's office is going to give you some blood work, some comprehensive metabolic panel, some vitamin and mineral deficiency test. If they can't offer you the blueprint, don't take the material. And looking at your blood is not a blueprint, because it's half. It's all physical, not spiritual. You need both. Looking at your blood is not the blueprint. It's half. You're only telling me about my physical, but not my spiritual. So that's not the total you to build the life that you're looking for. You don't have all the materials just by looking at the blood. You don't have all the material just by going to church. You need the full total you. That's the blueprint. Then once you get the physical and the spiritual understanding of who you really are, then you can go and buy material. Then that material would then in tune get you to allow you to do the task that you're looking for your body to do. So I hope you guys get this, man. I appreciate all the likes. I appreciate all of the people coming into the live. If you guys got questions, please just DM me, okay? and we will get your questions answered. Okay, that's powerful, physical and spiritual of who you are. Yes, it's only half. That's why it ain't working. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You know, everybody say they know stuff, but if you knew stuff, you'll blow up. And that's what we're doing. We're blowing up because this is something new. It's innovative, but it's also a rediscovery. I didn't discover this. I discovered it in my life. But we done forgot way more than we could ever discover. So I just forgotten this spiritually in my spirit. My ancestors and the people that look after me. Boy, remember what we used to do? I said, I don't remember. I wasn't there. Yeah, it's in you. You ain't got to be there. Remember what we used to do. And what we used to do got you all the way to this point in 2026. Humans didn't die because they didn't have an MRI scan. They didn't die because they couldn't see in your blood. They were still strong enough to make it all the way to 2026 and beyond. And a lot of them, grandmama was 90 and 100 years old. They got enough of this gas in them to make that life long. So we want to be able to do this for the modern generation. McDonald's ain't enough fuel for you to make it a long time. Church's Chicken and KFC ain't got enough gas in it for you to make it a long time. So we got to be able to refuel you with the right stuff. I want to be the bridge for the old and the new, the young and the elderly. We all need it. We all deserve it. And guess what, you guys? It's all yours. It's here. I love you guys, man. And it's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. Make sure you guys doing your humming. Make sure you guys are doing your humming. Hum your problems away. Hum your problems away. Hum them away. Produce that nitric oxide. Hum. You can hum in your truck. Don't try to sing. Hum. Hum with your spouse. When you're making love, hum. It's okay. It's okay. She says she love you. She love your hum. Hum. Hum in the school. Hum in your office. Hum in the car. Use the tools between your two shoulders. You produce your own medicine. Consume what you produce. Love you.